Hello, welcome to ERC Bona Talks. I'm Ethan Campbell. I'm a video production major, and I'm here with,
Jake Wakowiak. I'm a marketing major.
and I'm also joined by,
My name is Kevin Budaleski. I am a sports management major.
and today we're going to be talking NFL. We're going to start with fantasy as our first segment. All right, to start off the fantasy segment, we're going to do our top three players in the fantasy draft. I know I'm going to start. I'm getting Saquon. Obviously, Jamar Chase, he's up there. And I'm going to throw Gibbs up there, too. He had a great season. I bet Kev has, the same list.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think you got to go Saquon at the 1, Jamar Chase at the 2, and Jahmyr Gibbs at the 3rd pick.
This guy probably has something different.
Yeah, I'm a big wide receiver guy in the first round. Obviously, I'm gonna take Saquon first, though. Unbelievable season, 2,000 yards rushing over. Can't really go wrong there. Safe bet. Jamar, always a safe bet. Had an unbelievable season as well. And I'm gonna take Jay Jettas at the 3. He's been up there for the past couple of years now. Pretty safe route. He's got a high ceiling, so that would be my top 3.
All right. Now we're going to talk about fantasy players we want to pick up, or probably not in the top 10 or even 20. I'm going to start off with tight ends. I think Zach Ertz had a pretty good season, don't you think, Kev?
Yeah, he was stellar with Jaden Daniels.
Oh, Jane Daniels, he's insane. I just don't even know.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels had an insane season for a rookie. I'd also have to go with Zach Ertz at the tight end for kind of like a sleeper pick. I had him on my fantasy team this year, and towards the end of the season, maybe the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah,
he had a solid few games there. So I'd have to agree with Zach Ertz on the sleeper.
Yeah, he had a pretty good one. I already know what Kev's is going to be. Kev, just say it.
Yeah, mine is DJ Moore, wide receiver for the Bears. I think with Caleb Williams showing some potential last year, I think he'll really be able to step it up.
A lot.
Yeah, I know. But then they got the new head coach, who was the offensive coordinator from the Lions. So I think he'll really be able to turn the ship around. I think DJ Moore's going to ball with him.
He might. He's not too bad. What do you think, Jake? Anybody else?
Being a Bills fan, I got to go James Cook as well. I feel like he could sneak in the first 3 rounds, maybe. No, I'd say second round, to be honest. I feel like over 1,000-yard season. Depending on if he re-signs with the Bills, he still has to do that. But I think James Cook is a pretty solid RB2 for this upcoming fantasy season.
Yeah, I think he's shown a lot of potential. He could probably be pretty damn good.
Especially he's a good receiving back as well. So
yeah,
a lot of receptions, especially in a PPR league as a running back.
Yeah, for context here, they're both Bills fans. I'm a Ravens fan, so I know they're going to agree with that.
A little biased.
Absolutely.
There.
And actually, me and Kev met James Cook last weekend, which we're going to get into next. All right, so me and Kev actually recently got back from Chantilly, Virginia. Mm-hmm. Good trip, right, Kev?
It was phenomenal.
It was phenomenal.
Great, honestly.
We got to meet a lot of players. If you don't know what we're talking about, you go to this expo center, and a bunch of players are there, and you can just go up and meet them, get something signed. And I met Zay Flowers, Sam Laporta. Who'd you meet, Kev?
I met Jordan Addison, Brian Thomas Jr., Keon Coleman, and Greg Rousseau.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of signed stuff here from them and stories. Mm-hmm. And Jake here did not go on the trip.
I did not. I don't even know what. I know who they met. I don't know how any of that went. So I'm excited to hear what they got to say.
Yeah,
so it sounded like a good trip. So
it was. So we're gonna go through all the stuff we have signed, and we're gonna get Jake. We're gonna show Jake all the stuff, and we got some stories to tell him. Some crazy stuff happening at Chantilly.
Yes, some crazy did it.
So
I'm intrigued.
Let's get right into the first signature. All right, so the first person I met was Zay Flowers here, Ravens fan. Mm-hmm. Kev right here got the signed helmet.
Yeah, I got Zay Flowers as well right there. I also got Mark Andrews there, who's already on the helmet. That's how I bought it. But
I would honestly, being a Ravens fan, wipe that straight off after last game. Absolute embarrassment. But Jake, look at this. We got the Zay Flowers sig on the ball.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You mind if I hold it?
You can hold it.
Pretty cool signature.
Yep.
Zay's also a dog. Could be a sleeper in fantasy as well.
I think he could be.
He always sneaks in there.
I don't think D-Hop's going to add much, so I think Zay's got not much competition.
Yeah, Zay's always going to be the number 1. But
you think it was nice or mean? What do you think, Zay?
Like meeting him, are you saying?
Yeah, meeting him.
Honestly, I think Zay could have been a pretty nice guy. How was it?
He sure was. This guy walked up, had the biggest smile on his face.
Yep.
He said nice to meet you and everything. Nicer than a lot of players there. He was a great
Really?
guy. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good that he was nice to you. You know, being a professional athlete, if they're showing love to the fans like that, that's pretty sweet. So
Yeah,
glad you had a good experience.
Guys show for who built you up, you know. So
Yeah, exactly.
let's get to the next one.
Yep.
All right, Kev. What do we got for our next signed player?
So we have this Greg Rousseau mini helmet.
Oh.
I got him to write an inscription on it actually, which is where you get the player to write any 3 words you want. I got him to write "Let's go Bonas" on it.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah, he was a very chill dude. His agent actually knew exactly what St. Bonaventure was. He barely even knew what it was, but
Yeah, I almost
Yeah,
thought he was
no, he was
alumni.
yeah, no, honestly, he knew exactly what it was. But no, he was a cool guy, and I think Rousseau's gonna have a phenomenal season.
Yeah.
With Joey Bosa.
Let Jake see the helmet.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I love Greg Rousseau. He's very, very underrated. He just signed a pretty solid contract
Sure
for
did.
what was it, a 4-year extension, Kev?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, 4-year extension plus with Joey Bosa.
Yep.
I think they could be a great defense. Yeah, this is sick. I love
The Let's Go Bon is a great
Let's-
touch.
Let's go Bonas is a great touch. I mean,
Oh yeah, Kev.
signed by
Tell us
Greg
about your
Rousseau,
Keon
yeah.
Coleman story.
Yeah, so Keon Coleman, I had this like canvas thing,
Yeah.
and I go up to him, and he never seen anything like it. He takes it right out of my hands, and he's like, "Where'd you get this?" So I just got it off Fanatics for like $40, and he thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Oh yeah, I'll play right over this. It's gonna be fire.
But
Yeah, he thought that was so cool.
Yeah, he took a
Yeah.
picture of it on his phone and everything.
He did. Yeah, and it got posted on the Expo Center's Insta, so that was
Are you
pretty cool.
serious?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
sweet.
that was
That's
sick.
pretty sweet.
Yep.
Keon,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was cool.
pretty solid rookie year for a second
Mm.
rounder.
We'll see how he does.
Subpar, I would
So-
say. But those were the Bills
I got
guys
the
we
vibes.
met. So now we're gonna move on to our next signature. All right. So for our next signature, we got Sam Laporta here.
Ooh.
Yeah, I met him. I always had a thing for him for fantasy, so I'm like, I saw him going. Kev called me. I was
Yep.
in Florida.
Uh-huh.
I went nuts. You remember that call?
Yeah, you were screaming at the top of your lungs. It was.
Dude, I was so excited to meet him, and I was nervous honestly, but it was sick talking to him and showing him the fantasy. He thought my name was hilarious. Laporta's #1 fan.
Yeah.
Got the
How-
signature right in the 7.
How was talking to him? I was meeting him. Was he a good guy?
Yeah, he was chill. Him and Zay were both great guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is just sick. I always got it hanging up on the wall now. So
That's awesome. Sam
yeah.
Laporta, another great tight end.
what a guy! What a guy!
Yep.
Now we only got one more signature, so let's get to it. All right, so for our last signature, what do we got, Kev?
We have this Jordan Addison signed card.
Oh, that's pretty
Uh,
sick.
It is pretty sick. He was probably my favorite guy of the weekend.
He was really cool. He had that
Um,
fit on.
He did have a tough fit. He complimented my fit.
He
actually.
did the Venom Crew neck.
Yeah, that's what I had on. He loved it. So and then I complimented his fit, dapped me up. And,
Okay, let me see that. That's sick.
Hell yeah.
What is it called when the border is reflective or whatever? Is
Oh,
there
it's
a
called
special name?
it's called a tie dye because
Tie-dye, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Tade patch signature. That's
Yep.
that's a card right there. Look
That
at that,
is
Mr.
tight.
Woj. That is sick.
Is that like one of something or
Yep,
like
it's numbered to 25.
25. That's
25.
that is a solid
I
card.
believe
2 of 25?
25. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yes, sir.
He's got a cool signature too.
That is
nothing,
Yeah,
nothing
with
too
the number,
crazy.
too.
Yeah,
Dude, it almost
yeah.
looks fake how nice it is.
Yeah, that's super clean.
All right, well
I
now,
like that a lot.
yeah, now that we got all the signatures out of the way, I think it's time to get into the stories because we got some good ones to tell. All right, now it's time to get into the stories. I got a pretty good one from Chantilly.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, so I'm waiting on line for Zay Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of just walk out of the back and they go to their table where you can get your stuff signed where I got it. So I'm waiting in line for him because you can like give him a fist bump. Kev knows this.
Yep.
And I'm standing there. Someone taps me on the shoulder and I look behind me. No one's there.
Like
they got
the little trick thing when you
Yeah.
when you do the
when
opposite.
when someone
shoulder.
hits you on the shoulder and you just look away. Oh, who's there? Turn around. It was Ed Reed.
Yep.
Ed Reed.
Yeah.
Ed Reed tapped me on the
Absolute
shoulder.
legend.
He was laughing at me. You remember that, Kev?
He was laughing at
I
you.
didn't realize. I was starstruck.
I know,
Ravens
it was,
legend
It was
Ed Reed.
crazy like that. I've never seen any player do that.
I
Not
know.
even- Not even
It was
just the
sweet.
Ravens.
It's not like
NFL
it's not like I
Yep.
paid for him because you got to pay for the players.
Yeah.
He just did that because
Yeah.
I was wearing
Pretty
a
cool.
Hamilton jersey, so
Yep.
that was probably one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And Kev, I know you got a
story.
story too.
Yeah,
This one's also pretty good.
Yeah, so we were at dinner, and one of us looked across the restaurant we were at, and next thing you know, it's Emmitt Smith. They had the
Insane.
Emmitt Smith.
Florida Auburn game on,
Yeah.
Yep.
and Emmitt Smith went to Florida, so he was there watching the game, and my brother and our one friend Chuck
Chuck.
go up to like talk to him or whatever, and They go up, and my brother gets a fist bump from him, and he totally denied Chuck. It was so sad to see, but it was funny.
We were making fun of Chuck the whole trip
We
about
were.
this.
We were. It was
We
bad.
got left hanging by one of the NFL greats.
Yep,
Yes.
by
Yeah,
one of the
that's
NFL
game.
greats.
Yes.
Shout out to
That's
Chuck
awesome.
if he's
Shout out to
watching.
Chuck, yep.
We're still laughing at it,
We
but
are. We are.
now it's time to move into our third segment, and honestly, my favorite segment:
Yep.
Who's the better player? So let's get straight into it. All right, so for our first player comparison, we each got to choose one or the other. And the first one's going to be JSN or BTJ. Very close line there.
Very.
I'm going to start with, I personally think BTJ. He had a great season. He was on a bad team. Like Trevor Lawrence is not that good.
No, he's not.
He's honest. No, he's horrible. What am I saying? Not that good. No, he's horrible. Like, put him on a better team, he would go crazy. What do you think, Jake?
I'm gonna go with JSN. I feel
Ooh.
this season he got undermined, but with DK and Lockett, but now they're both gone. He's gonna be
They
the one
are.
now. They got a new quarterback with Darnold. Darnold kind of balled out a little bit with the Vikings.
Not towards
A
the
li-
end. He kinda
not towards the end,
sold.
but a little bit he did. I
Yeah.
feel maybe with a new offense, I think JSN could do pretty solid in the next season. So I'm gonna take JSN on this one.
Yeah, honestly, I don't disagree with that. Like
Yeah.
he's got
They're
the field to himself this year. I mean,
Yeah.
he's probably gonna have a great year. What do you
Yeah.
think, Kev?
Let's agree with Ethan on this one.
Yup,
I'm gonna have to
yup.
go with BTJ as well. I mean, top 3 in receiving yards for a rookie. I mean, he had almost 1,300, 10 touchdowns. Like I said, he is a rookie, so I mean, he's just gonna get better from here. and-
Yeah, great rookie season. Better than
Yeah.
Marv.
yeah.
Marv
honestly,
had
better
a
than Marvin
horrible
Harrison.
rookie season.
Yeah.
Sorry to everyone who chose him in fantasy. I know I did. I didn't want to let
Mhm.
him go. Should have sold him high.
Yeah, but no, I think BTJ is gonna be stellar next
Yeah.
season.
All right,
Stellar.
well-
It's hard with JSN and
yeah.
BTJ, both great picks. but-
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it seems BTJ won this out of majority. What do you guys think? Let me know. And let's get on to the next one. All right. So now we're gonna do some QBs. I got a good line here. We're gonna go Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow.
Ooh.
Both good quarterbacks. I mean,
Both LSU guys.
yeah, they are. I'm gonna start with Jaden Daniels. I love Jaden Daniels. Have him on fantasy. Great running quarterback. Phenomenal season. Rookie of the year. Gonna be future MVP. I'm calling it. I got bets on it. Hopefully, I get my money back. What do you think, Jake?
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think JD5 had a phenomenal rookie season, one of the best ever, to be honest.
Sure
Making
did.
it to the NFC Championship as a rookie. I mean, obviously didn't come out on top, but the Eagles were also a very tough team.
Yeah, they
Uh,
were.
I think it's only gonna get better. I mean, they also grabbed some picks in the off season. I think they can make a pretty good run next season with JD5 as quarterback. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
go JD5.
I totally agree with that. Kev, what do you think?
I'm gonna have to agree with you two guys. I'm gonna go with Jaden Daniels as well. I just think that, it goes to show Jaden Daniels making the playoffs, having a good record, whereas the Bengals didn't even make the playoffs.
Didn't.
Had a terrible record, and when you have
Smoked
Jamar
by the
Chase,
Ravens.
yeah, I mean, like I know they had a terrible defense, but I mean, if you got Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, I mean, you should be
T.
putting
Higgins.
up
T. Higgins,
T.
too.
Higgins. I mean, the
like,
offense
you
is
have
stacked.
you have the pieces. Put them together. What are you
Yeah.
doing?
I don't know.
Jane
They
Daniels
gotta-
put those pieces
look,
together.
Look at the Bills too. I mean, not a great defense, but
Yeah.
with a decent offense.
All right, all right, all
Yeah,
right.
I mean, they beat the Ravens
got
in the
it done.
divisional.
All right,
Yes.
all right.
Yeah.
We're moving on to our next one. All right, now we're gonna get on to our last and final decision. I got Kyron Williams or Josh Jacobs. I'm gonna start off. I think Josh Jacobs, crazy season. I think around like 15 touchdowns.
Sounds right.
I remember watching him in Detroit on the Detroit game. Insane, 3
Yeah.
touchdowns. I just wish I had him in fantasy. Guy wouldn't let him up. All right, Jake, what do you think?
I'm gonna show a little bias here because I had Kyron on my fantasy team. I'm gonna go with Kyron
Oh,
here.
this guy.
Honest, pretty solid season overall. I feel like they're both comparable, but with Kyron being on my fantasy team, I don't know. He balled out for me. I had a pretty good fantasy season, so I'm gonna go with Kyron on that one.
No, I don't agree with you at all. But we're gonna
That's
move
fine,
on to
that's fine.
Kev.
Agree to agree.
I think it's very close. I believe they were 3 and 4.
They
for
were
the
very good
rushing
line.
yards, so it's very close. I do have to go Kyron by a touch,
Oh, Kev.
just because. I mean, he was like 90% on the field at all
Yeah.
times. He played so many snaps, and when Cup and Puka both got hurt, he kind of carried the offense.
Yeah, I forgot about
Kind of
that.
carried the offense.
It's a
so I
great
think-
line. They both carried their offenses.
They
did.
They're
They both
very
did.
close.
Yes.
Took me and Kevin
I'm
right.
still going with Josh Jacobs, though.
It's very close.
Yeah.
As we said. It's,
Agree to disagree.
All right. Thank you for listening in to the ERC Bona Talks. I was here with,
Kevin Budaleski.
Jacob Koviak.
and I'm Ethan Campbell, and go
Go Bonas.
Bonas.